All right, the recording looks very nice, so that's a real plus already. When she gets towards the end, then we'll pause it. Yeah, okay. Can you pause it?
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, so this is Shabbat, right? Shahat.
Shahat, yeah.
So Shahat set the new Indian record on the 50 and a 100. Is that correct?
She's a gold medalist, new record in 50-meter breaststroke.
All right. So how fast is she?
She is 25 something. Do you know? 25.49, I think.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So I have done a lot of breaststroke stuff with, like, I've coached a lot of breaststrokers, and so this is a bit of an introduction before we really start about her. The thing is that breaststrokers are a bit different, and this sounds funny for some people, but this is real. So breaststroke is the one stroke, and everybody knows this. That's probably the most technical stroke because you use the most muscles of any, like in any stroke, is the breaststroke basically. So the breaststroke is the one where you use the most muscles in your body. There are so many different styles of breaststroke that could be successful that if you go look at the finals of the Olympic Games or you look at the finals of the World Championships, there are 8 boys or 8 girls who all swim different. And they're all equally fast, which is funny actually. Now, some of them also look very different. So there are some people who look very big and very strong, and there's the more skinnier girls, for example.
Eric?
They all have one thing in common, though. They all have strong legs, right?
Eric?
And yeah,
I have to explain them in Punjabi also.
Yeah, do that, please. Yeah.
ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬ੍ਰੈਸਟ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕਈ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਫਨੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਕੋਈ ਸੈੱਟ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹਦੀ ਕਈ ਡਾਇਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਕਈ ਤਰੀਕਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਈਆਂ ਹਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਓਲੰਪੀਅਨ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਚਾਹਤ ਜਾਂ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਯੂਜਲੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਬ੍ਰੈਸਟ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਵਾਲੇ ਜਾਂ ਸਵਿਮਰ ਲੰਮੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬਟ ਦੈਨ ਸ਼ੀ ਬ੍ਰੋਕ ਦ ਰੈਕਡ ਆਲਸੋ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਦੱਸੂਗਾ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਹੈ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਚਾਹਤ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਮਲ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ okay go ahead sorry
all right so I don't know Shahat at all but what I think is that she's not very tall right
not
very tall
yeah she's not tall yeah you're right
no she's a small girl I think
yeah. She's short yeah
and she could potentially swim next to somebody who's way taller, but she's still faster. So that means she must do something right that makes her fast, right? So if you look at her in this stroke, as much as you can see from above the water, the stroke is really, really nice. Now, I'm going to tell you some stuff that sounds weird, so don't take this the wrong way. But when she swims, look at her butt. So look at the blue part, basically from her swimsuit.
Yeah.
If you let it run, so if you press play, you'll see that part almost stays above the water the whole time. She doesn't go very deep with her butt.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what you want to do. So you want to keep your hips, and of course your butt, that's part of your hips, right? You want to keep that really high in the water.
Yeah. So ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡੁੱਬਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵਾਟਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਹੈ ਹਿਪਸ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬ੍ਰੈਸਟ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਫਾਰਮੂਲਾ ਯੈਸ ਗੋ ਅਹੈਡ
Yeah, and she does that very well. Now, whatever else she does, like under the water, you can't see. But I am pretty sure that if you let her only do kick, so you get a kickboard, and you just do kick, she can probably go the same time minus 5 seconds. So she can probably kick 40 seconds because her whole stroke is driven by the kick. And that's for most breaststrokers, that's how it is. That's why you can have fantastic upper body, but if your kick is really weak, you'll never really be a fantastic breaststroker. You need to have that really, really good kick. So that's why most breaststrokers need to work on their legs. And that basically makes the stroke very different than all the other strokes. Because if you are a freestyler, if you have fantastic legs, but if your upper body doesn't work, it's never going to happen. Same with butterfly, same with backstroke, right? So that's why breaststroke is such a different stroke. You really need the lower part of your body to be very good and very strong. Now, if you don't know the right technique, it doesn't really matter. It's still not going to happen. So what she does really well is that she moves her hips up and down in a nice way. Because we all know with breaststroke, let's say if these are your legs, if you do this, right, when you bring your feet to your butt, that's where you slow down. So the trick is to kind of like minimize that. She does that very well.
Okay, let's see. ਸਮਝ ਆਈ ਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿੱਕ ਹੈ ਬਟਸ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਲੋ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਆਦਤ ਚੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਵਾਪਸ right?
Yeah, and what you can also see, and this is more difficult to see, but you can see that with her very well. Her arms go out, right? So she gets her arms out, and that gives her good timing. So when her legs close, her arms are out, and that's exactly where you want to be. So there's no stop in her stroke. You will see later, if you look at his hips, right, where his swimsuit is, that is still not bad. It's still quite nice above the water. So he actually manages to do that well. But if you see this position, how high his body comes out of the water, it's a completely different technique than other people. This is not wrong.
He's here.
No.
He's
So
here. Do it again.
This is a really good shot, actually. When you stop it, when he's like above the water, when he takes a breath,
Listen.
you can see how high he gets out of the water, right? So it's completely like this before he goes forward. Yeah. So it's already a very different style. Not only is he a boy, the other one is a girl, but the style is completely different. Now, he's not a bad swimmer, I think. I think he does really well. The only thing, I'm counting his strokes, and he's taking 11 pulls to go to the other end.
Okay.
Now, that's a bit much.
That's a big what?
That's a bit too much. I would say you could do the same speed probably with 8 or 9 strokes. Because he's really rushing it, and he doesn't really give his body time to glide a little bit.
8 ਤੋਂ 9 ਸੋ ਲੰਮਾ ਲਿਜਾਣਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਐਦਾਂ ਬੋਡੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਚਾਹਤ ਉਹਦੀ ਹਿਪ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਪੈਰਲਲ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ see the body.
See, the moment he goes forward with his arms, so when he puts his arms forward, he's very short here, and right away he goes there. Give it more time, give it a little bit more time. So you want to be a little bit longer there. And then the timing is a little bit easier that way, because now it's a bit of a rush. I don't mind going up like this, that's okay, because then you have to just dive forward. It's just a different technique, that's fine. But you need to glide a little bit more.
Okay, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਬੁਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖੜਦਾ then ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਗਲਾਈਡ ਮੋਰ ਕਰ ਫਿਰ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਫੇਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਗਲਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਲੰਮਾ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਗਲਾਈਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਨਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ.
And another way is this, like if you count his strokes, so he takes 11 strokes from the beginning towards the end, right? Now he gets out of the water quite high. So if you do that 11 times, that is 11 times a lot of resistance, right? If you would do it 8 times or 9 times, you would go right away faster because you don't have 2 or 3 times less resistance, basically. So that's also how to look at it, like from an energetically point of view. Like,
understand?
Yeah.
So his hand should go out like this, you know? He should go out or what? I didn't understand at that point.
You can choose to do it like this if you want. Like, I would not say it's wrong or right. Like, it's just a different style, but it makes you a bit tired if you get really high out of the water and you get the pressure on your chest, and then you have to go in again. So, because it's not just the head, right? It's not only the head goes up, the whole body goes up until basically he goes up until always here, and then he goes forward, right? So it's really taking a lot of energy. I think for him, do exercises in the training like drills where you do 1 pull, 2 kick, stuff like that, to kind of like experiment a little bit more with staying a bit lower, and then you glide a little bit longer, and right away you go faster.
Yeah, glide more. So what about his kick? Let's look at his kick.
See, there's not much time that he's there. He goes right away there, and that's not really necessary.
Okay.
You can take a little bit longer there. The issue with breaststroke is that it is such a timing stroke that it's very difficult to change it. So if you've always been doing this and you want to change it, you need a lot of kind of like special drills to
Right.
find your way. And usually you can do two things. Either you go wider with your arms,
Okay.
or you go slower with your legs. Those are two things you can try.
So
And
what,
then you'll find where it is good for you.
yeah, Eric, what we're gonna do is I will ask Gurcharan to write to you, or you write a couple of drills for him, you know,
Yes, I will do. I will do that. Yeah.
then we'll take care of the drills.
Yeah,
Now,
because that's the next step, right? Like first we see what is right or wrong, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing, how do you fix it? All right. So what she is doing, she's definitely gliding, but a bit too long.
do what?
So what happens is that there's speed when you pull with your arms and when you kick. But if you are too long in a position where you're just in a streamlined position, basically, your speed drops again. And then you have to get the speed again, and then it drops again. So it goes up and down and up and down. So you lose a lot of energy by keeping yourself going. The trick is for her, you see this, right? The legs are closed and the arms are closed. There's a moment where she's gliding and there's no forwards motion at all. So she's just hanging in the water. And that is like a waste of your energy, basically.
So did you understand?
So in this position, nothing is happening.
दोबारा चांस नहीं मिलना देख ला ठीक है
What would be good for her to do is slow down the legs. I think that would work. Instead of kicking fast, go a little bit slower, and then at the end you go fast. So you go there and then you go fast. That will right away fix it.
So एक तो है slow down legs.
Yeah. You can also open the arms a little bit more, but that's more difficult. I think slow down the legs is easier. He stops there, stops there, stops there. Every time when he pulls the legs, there's a moment he stops. And now you see like the other girl, and you probably see the same as well.
ਲੱਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਧੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਧੀਆਂ ਨੈਚੁਰਲੀ ਖੜੇਗਾ ਹਨਾ
And this is just a timing issue. This is not a matter of like a wrong technique. Like it's just at the wrong time what you do. So this is not bad, but every time the head goes up, is stop there.
Yeah.
And there's a stop there. And a stop there. A very short stop, but that's enough to actually make you tired. And now you'll see the same with her. So this is still okay. Stop. See, then she goes forward. Stop. If you would go frame by frame, you can do that on the Apple computer. If you open it in QuickTime, and then you can use the arrow keys left and right, you can go frame by frame. You'll see that she will be stopping every single time she bends the legs.
Right.
And it's maybe only like 1/10 of a second, but it slows down the complete stroke.
ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾ ਹਜੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਲੈਗ ਸਟ੍ਰੋਕ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜ ਜਾਂਦੀ
See, she stops.
Yeah.
She stops. If you elite level swimmers, and I used to work a lot with those, we have specialized equipment and they put it in a graph, right? So they put it in, and then you'll see exactly how fast somebody goes per stroke. And then you'll actually see that the people who do this, they sometimes even go backwards. Sometimes the butt goes slightly backwards and then goes forward again, goes slightly backward, or they stay stationary. So this is something you're not aware of unless you slow it down, then you can actually see it.
Okay. So what kind?
So you notice that basically the focus is mostly on the legs, right? The arms and the upper body can be anything, but the legs are very, very important in breaststroke.
Concentrate legs पे करना होगा है ना so just write a couple of drills for her also.
Yeah, I will for all three of them get some drills.
Okay. Okay, so that's about it for today. As far as the stroke part is concerned, I'm going to show them a couple of videos. Just one more.
All right, good. Very good.